Welcome to the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald Talking Newspaper Podcast, as published on Wednesday the 20th of May 2026. Read and recorded for the benefit of visually and reading impaired people by volunteers for the Bishopbriggs-based charity Cute and Review Print Speaking to the Blind. If you want to learn more about our charity and access recordings from other newspapers, our website is www.cuteandreview.com. That's www.cuteandreview.com.
Red Wheel Toast to Real History by Julie Curry. A red wheel plaque has been unveiled on the outer wall of East Dunbartonshire Council headquarters at Southbank Marina in Kirkintilloch. Provost Gillian Renwick and local historian and author Don Martin were joined by council leader Gordon Lowe and John Cameron, Vice President of the National Transport Trust, or NTT, for the ceremony last Wednesday. Members of local historical societies and representatives from the National Transport Trust and Scottish Canals were also in attendance. Funded by Kirkintilloch and Districts Society of Antiquaries, the Red Wheel plaque at the marina is one of over 200 around the UK, with more than 40 now unveiled in Scotland. Created by the National Transport Trust, the scheme recognises and pays tribute to the most significant sites of historical importance to transport heritage. The plaque carries a QR code which takes the viewer to the NTT website for more information. The most recent plaque commemorates the Kirkintilloch Basin, the site where coal was brought by the Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway for transfer to the Forth and Clyde Canal. Opened 200 years ago in October 1826, the Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway was one of Scotland's earliest public railways. At 10 miles long, it ran from the Monkland Collieries to Kirkintilloch. Another red wheel plaque to commemorate the Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway has also been unveiled at Coatbridge Sunnyside train station in North Lanarkshire. Provost Renwick said, "The red wheel plaque is a wonderful addition to the headquarters building, which stands on the site of the northern terminus of the Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway at Kirkintilloch Basin. The Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway plays such an important part in our local heritage and is a thread that runs through the lives of many local families. I'm delighted to see the plaque situated here as a reminder of our past, alongside the existing sculpture commemorating the building of small cargo boats called puffers in Kirkintilloch. Together, they mark key aspects of the area's special history in what is now a beautiful marina. I'd like to thank Don Martin for all his work in researching and promoting the Monkland and District Railway and joining me to unveil the plaque. I'd also like to thank the Kirkintilloch and District Society of Antiquaries who funded the plaque, and the National Transport Trust for recognising this area as part of its scheme. In 1824, the Monkland and Kirkintilloch became the first railway in Scotland to receive comprehensive powers under an Act of Parliament to operate both goods and passenger services. Under these powers, a large part of it was opened on May 17, 1826, when a horse-drawn coal train ran from Gartsherry to the Forth and Clyde Canal at Kirkintilloch. Don said, "It later became the first railway in Scotland to operate a steam locomotive successfully. In doing so, it was the first in this country to operate a timetabled service by steam. This began on July the 4th, 1831, when a regular goods service was started between Christon and Kirkintilloch. The Monkland and Kirkintilloch was also the first railway to order a steam locomotive from a Glasgow builder. The city later became one of the foremost locomotive building cities in the world. Most importantly, the Bunkland and Kirkintilloch Railway was laid with patent rails designed to support steam locomotives and allow them to pass at speed. After the Stockton and Darlington, it was the second public railway in the world to be provided with these rails, the Birkinshaw patent rails. Under its 1824 Act of Parliament, the Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway had powers to use steam locomotives, introducing the first Glasgow-built steam locomotive in 1831. The first commercial train was a horse-drawn coal train from Gartsherry to the Forth and Clyde Canal at Kirkintilloch on May 17, 1826. It was the first of a group of early North Lanarkshire lines that formed the core of the Scottish railway network. Events have been held to mark the 200th anniversary of the Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway in Kirkintilloch, including talks and guided walks. An exhibition entitled Monkland and Kirkintilloch, Scotland's first modern railway, at the Old Kirk Museum runs until today, Wednesday. There, visitors can see photos, memorabilia and a model railway display. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Group of the Year Award, a report by Julie Curry. Lennoxtown-based veterans charity Bravehound has been named Veterans Group of the Year at the Scottish Veterans Awards 2026. Bravehound provides specialist assistance dogs to veterans from all three branches of the armed forces across Scotland, struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder and or physical injuries as a result of military service. The awards, which took place at Prestonfield House in Edinburgh on April 29, celebrate the positive work taking place across the military community as well as the outstanding contribution of veterans. Fiona MacDonald, Bravehound's founder and chief executive officer, said, "We were proud to be finalists and humbled to win the award, given the many great organisations that were also in the running, including our great friends at Vector 24. It's all about teamwork, working together within Bravehound and as partners with organisations such as the Lothians Veterans Centre and Turn to Starboard. We're all thrilled by the award. It's a real boost for our fantastic staff team, our volunteers, and most importantly, the veterans we are so proud to serve." Rhea Molino from the Veterans Award team was amongst the first to celebrate the local charity's success. She said, "We would like to congratulate Bravehound on being recognised as finalists and winners at the Scottish Veterans Awards 2026 in the Veterans Group of the Year category. Bravehound continues to make an incredible difference within the veteran community through the life-changing support it provides to veterans living with mental health challenges such as PTSD and anxiety. The charity's dedication to pairing veterans with assistance dogs while also offering ongoing welfare and training support creates lasting partnerships that bring companionship, purpose and stability to those transitioning from military to civilian life. As an organisation operated largely through voluntary support ourselves, we are proud to shine a spotlight on the positive contributions being made across the veteran community and to provide finalists with a platform to share their inspiring stories. We would also like to thank everyone who attended this year's Scottish Veterans Awards hosted by Mark Mackenzie at the outstanding Prestonfield House in Edinburgh on April 29 in support of the Army Benevolent Fund Scotland and the Royal Navy and Royal Marines charity. The evening was a celebration of dedication, resilience and achievement across the veterans community, and we, are extremely grateful to our supporters, sponsors, volunteers and partners who made the event possible. Congratulations to all finalists and winners, including Leanne Gittings and Scottish Veterans Award Champion 2026, Carl Graham. The standard of nominations this year was exceptional, and we remain committed to promoting the positive impact veterans continue to make across society. Positivity breeds positivity, and we hope these stories will continue to inspire future service leavers for years to come. That report was written by Julie Curry and read by me, Nikki.
This week in history, May 24, 1969, the black and white minstrel show at London's Victoria Palace closed after 4,354 performances in 7 years. On this day last year, Russia and Ukraine swapped hundreds more prisoners, according to the government in Moscow, hours after a mass strike on Kyiv. May 25, 1986. Bob Geldof's Race Against Time had 30 million people worldwide running for sport aid to raise money for the starving in Africa. On this day last year, the daughter of US singer Billy Joel described him as the strongest and most resilient man following his diagnosis of a brain condition. May 26, 1950. Petrol rationing ended in Britain. On this day last year, a 53-year-old man arrested after a car ploughed into a crowd of people during Liverpool's Premier League victory parade was believed to be its driver, and the incident was not thought to be terrorism, Merseyside Police Assistant Chief Constable Jenny Sims said. May 27, 1900. Belgium became the first country to elect a government by proportional representation. On this day last year, TV chef Jamie Oliver had been hailed as an absolute legend by his wife, Jules, in a social media post celebrating his 50th birthday. That was This Week in History, read by Ian.
Celebrating our canals. This article was written by Julie Curry. Scotland's canal custodians are set to mark the 25th anniversary of the Millennium Link project with a series of events and community-led activities. The anniversary celebrations for the project, which reconnected Scotland's lowland canals, will take place on both the Forth and Clyde and Union canals, led by Scottish Canals with support from local communities. Events planned to date include heritage walks and talks, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM activities in schools, a canal cleanup, orchard and hedgerow restorations, and opportunities to share memories of life on and alongside the canals. Scottish Canals is also inviting the boating community to create their own special events this summer, with boaters' gatherings and mini flotillas traveling along the lowland canals. The canals were built to provide an essential transport route across Scotland. The Forth and Clyde Canal reaches from the Firth of Clyde at Bowling to the Firth of Forth at Grangemouth, while the Union Canal runs from Edinburgh to Falkirk. Here, a series of 11 locks lowered the canal to meet the Forth and Clyde. Following the rise of the railways, the canals declined, eventually closing in the 1960s. They were left drained and neglected until the ambitious Millennium Link project began in 1999. This £83.5 million project was the largest canal restoration ever undertaken in Britain, bringing the Forth and Clyde and Union canals back to life, with the Falkirk Wheel at their heart. The wheel replaced the old series of locks, lifting boats from the Forth and Clyde Canal to the Union Canal, 35 meters above. Its iconic design is the result of a unique fusion of art and engineering, resulting in a piece of working sculpture, the world's only rotating boat lift. The canals reopened in 2001 and are now thriving waterways, offering a wealth of social, economic, and community opportunities. John Patterson, Scottish Canal's Chief Executive Officer, said, "We are delighted to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Millennium Link and all those who contributed to bringing the derelict Forth and Clyde and Union Canals back to life. Through our continued investment over the last 25 years, the canals and the Falkirk Wheel are now vibrant green-blue spaces and valued national assets, unlocking billions of pounds in economic value for canal-side communities. Our thriving, nature-filled waterways are a powerful legacy of the Millennium funding from the National Lottery. This transformation has touched so many lives. 1.5 million people live close to a canal in Scotland, more than a quarter of the population. The canals now attract over 20 million visits per year and provide an active travel network for cyclists and walkers, alleviating our roads and getting closer to 20-minute neighborhoods. To find out more about the celebrations, visit www.scottishcanals.co.uk. Further events will be added throughout the year. If you or your organization would like to host an event as part of the celebratory year, please contact Scottish Canals via the webpage for it to be shared and promoted. This article was written by Julie Curry and read by Erin.
Celebration of Mark's life, work, loves and passions. It was with great sadness that the family and colleagues of Mark Gould announced his passing. Mark was born in Glasgow and raised in Kirkintilloch, remaining closely connected to his roots throughout his life. He later lived in Glasgow and Stonehaven before settling in more recent years in St Anne's-on-Sea, Lancashire. Mark dedicated 37 years to a career in financial services, including technical specialist at Standard Life, sales manager at AXA, business development manager at St James Place and, latterly, technical specialist at the Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, where he served for 16 years. During his time at the FCA, Mark supported the Treating Customers Fairly programme, coordinating assessments, visits, file reviews, and reviewing more than 500 client files. He was also closely involved in implementation of the Retail Distribution Review, RDR, helping to strengthen transparency and standards across the industry. A trusted and well-respected figure, Mark was the key contact for the Personal Finance Society, PFS, for 14 years. He contributed extensively to industry engagement, including organising materials for the FCA's Live and Local programme, presenting at PFS regional roadshows and Chartered Connections events, and supporting conferences and the Festival of Finance. Known for his warmth, knowledge and generosity, Mark was also a highly regarded speaker whose presentations were always engaging. Outside work, Mark was a passionate fan of Celtic Football Club and a deep love of sport, including football, cricket and golf. He also loved music, with an impressive knowledge of bands, songs and music history. Mark is survived by his older brother Bill, his sister Diane, his two sons Michael and Kieran, and his partner of 9 years, Alison Tilsey. His funeral service was held on Tuesday, May 19 at 10 a.m. at J&D Lawson Funeral Directors in Kirkintilloch, followed by a burial at Auld Isle Cemetery. A celebration of Mark's life then took place at the Westerwood Hotel.
Charity is on shortlist for awards recognition. This article was written by Julie Curry. With You in Scotland has been named as a finalist for the SCVO's Scottish Charity of the Year. The charity, which provides drug and alcohol support in East Dunbartonshire, was shortlisted for its dedicated work supporting people facing dependency challenges. Last year, staff in 13 community-based services across the country helped 14,000 people. Referrals rose 21% year-on-year, and teams held more than 63,000 appointments. With You's online web chat, available 364 days a year, connected with a record 1,987 people seeking support, up 28% year-on-year. Louise Stewart, Scotland Director at With You, said the award nomination recognized work that changed lives across Scotland. She said, "Over the last 2 decades, my colleagues have helped tens of thousands of people take steps towards a healthier life. I'm incredibly proud of them and so pleased their vital work has been recognized. People facing challenges with drugs and alcohol must be able to access the right support, free from stigma and discrimination, when and where they need it, driven by their goals." Ronnie Hart, an advanced practitioner at With You's Northeast Glasgow Recovery Hub, is one of many staff members who brings his own experience to his work. He said, "At With You, I feel valued. They support my recovery, physical health, and mental health. There hasn't been a day since I started where I have not wanted to go to my work." Almost everyone in Scotland has been touched by drug and alcohol harm. Figures published in September offered a moment of cautious optimism, with drug deaths in 2024 at their lowest level since 2017, and alcohol deaths at a 5-year low. During this period, With You has helped shape policy, playing a key role in developing Scotland's Charter of Rights for people affected by substance use and the standards for young people accessing treatment or support for alcohol or drugs. As synthetic opioids entered Scotland's drug supply, it also expanded drug checking and naloxone provision to keep people safe. Charity Award winners will be announced on June 11th, following a ceremony hosted by broadcaster Sally Magnuson in Glasgow. Anna Fowley, SCVO Chief Executive, said, "Across Scotland, voluntary organisations are making an extraordinary difference, and the breadth and depth of their impact never fails to inspire. Our 2026 finalists epitomise this." With You provides free, confidential support for people experiencing challenges with drugs, alcohol, and mental health. It is one of Scotland's largest third-sector providers of drug and alcohol services. As well as East and West Dunbartonshire, it delivers services in Glasgow, Ayrshire, the Borders, Dumfries and Galloway, Argyll and Bute, Dundee, Fife and Highland, as well as community link work services in Renfrewshire. With You also operates a free, confidential web chat service funded by the Scottish Government, available at www.wearewithyou.org.uk. This article was written by Julie Curry and read by Erin.
Heroin driver sent to prison. A driver has been jailed for 27 months after police found heroin worth £25,000 in his car following a crash. Lee Coya, 28, formerly of Redbray Road, Kirkintilloch, was sentenced at Airdrie Sheriff Court. He admitted being concerned in the supply of the Class A drug between March 26 and 28 last year. Jack Lindsay, prosecuting, said the accused cars was involved in a collision at a roundabout near Junction 3 of the M80 near Cumbernauld. Mr. Lindsay told the court police officers arrived at 10:05 a.m. and found him at the roadside beside his vehicle. They noticed him to be agitated. A search of the car was carried out and bags of heroin were found in the glove compartment and under the driver's seat and front passenger seat. Mr. Lindsay added bags of heroin were found in the car along with scales and £2,000 in mixed notes. A further £565 in mixed notes was found in a wallet inside a rucksack. Defence lawyer Paul Bellardo said Coya, now of Moodiesburn, works as a plumber and has no previous convictions. Mr. Bellardo stated Through his own cocaine use, he racked up a debt that ran into thousands of pounds. He was able to pay off some of that, but not all, and was effectively told that he would be transferring items from A to B to pay off the remainder of the debt. At a previous court hearing, the court heard the total weight of heroin seized was almost 1 kilogram. His solicitor said he had the items in his possession for 2 days prior to being detained.
Firms are invited to netwalk. The author of this article is unattributed. Local business owners are being invited to walk their way to unlocking more opportunities and meeting fellow business owners. Business Gateway East Dunbartonshire is taking to the great outdoors for a netwalking event on Friday, May 29th from 9am to 11am. The event is part of its EdNet series, which gives its owners of businesses of all sizes and sectors a chance to share ideas, network and access information away from the constant distractions of running their companies every day. The netwalking event will begin with a cuppa and introduction at Twicker Outdoor Pursuit Centre, 15 Canal Row, Main Street, G65 9DT. This introduction will be followed by a guided walk and a chance to chat with their fellow local entrepreneurs. For more information and to book a place, visit www.bgateway.com/events/walk-2-with--net-31206. The author of that article was unattributed.
Nominate a Champion by Julie Curry. For the 4th consecutive year, Provost Gillian Renwick has launched her Champion Awards to recognise local people that make an outstanding contribution in their community. To date, 24 inspirational local people have been awarded for their commitment to supporting others and improving their local area, having been nominated by friends, family, neighbours and colleagues. Nominations for the 2026 Community Champion Awards are now welcome in the following 6 categories: Community Champion, Young Champion, Caring Champion, Sports Champion, Arts and Heritage Champion, Sustainability Champion. Provost Gillian Renwick said, "Since the launch of the Provost Champion Awards in 2023, the Deputy Provost and I have had the privilege of meeting so many inspirational local people who dedicate their time to improving the lives of others. It has become one of the highlights of the year for us, and I'm very pleased to announce that we're now looking for nominations for the 2026 awards. If you'd like to see someone acknowledged and honoured for the fantastic work they do in the community, please fill out a nomination form. All nominations must be received by 5 p.m. on Thursday, June 11th, and the Deputy Provost and I will then judge all the submissions and announce the winners on Monday, June 22nd. Both of us can't wait to read all the entries. Good luck." Anyone who lives, works or attends school or college in East Dunbartonshire can be nominated, and full details of the award categories and eligibility criteria can be found on the online nomination form. Visit eastdunbarton.gov.uk/news/2026/May/nominate your local champion in the Provost's Community Champion Awards 2026 to find out more, or nominate someone you believe is deserving of the Provost's recognition this year. The Provost will arrange to present the winner of each category with their award following the winner's announcement in June. That article was written by Julie Curry and it was read by Jahan.
New MSP has been sworn in. This article is unattributed. Scottish Liberal Democrat Adam Harley was sworn in as the MSP for Strathkelvin and Bearsden last Thursday. Adam is the first Scottish Liberal Democrat to represent the seat in the Scottish Parliament. He has built on the successes of Liberal Democrat MP Susan Murray, who represents the Westminster constituency of Mid Dunbartonshire. Adam is among the 10 Scottish Liberal Democrat MSPs now sitting in the Scottish Parliament. He said, "It is a great honour to represent the people of Strathkelvin and Bearsden in the Scottish Parliament. I spoke to many people on doorsteps who felt scunnered by a system they feel isn't working. The Scottish Government must build back faith in our public services, and I will be the local voice holding the government to account. People work hard, pay their taxes, and deserve world-class public services. I'm rolling up my sleeves and eager to hit the ground running." This article was unattributed and read by Aaron. Homes ready for summer. This article was written by Julie Curry. A range of new homes are available locally, just in time for a summer move. David Wilson Homes has properties ready to move into at its Auchinleck Village development in Rob Royston. Offering excellent commuter links to Glasgow, residents can enjoy easy access to local amenities, schools, retail facilities, and green open spaces, while benefiting from a semi-rural setting. The development features energy-efficient 3- and 4-bedroom homes designed for modern family living. One of the homes currently available is Plot 306, The Ralston, a 4-bedroom detached home priced from £389,995. The property is ready to move into and is available with a range of incentive options that helps budgets stretch further. Homebuyers can purchase the home using part exchange, which removes the uncertainty of being part of a chain, or they can access up to £19,499 towards a deposit. Estelle Sykes, David Wilson Home sales director, said, "We aim to support buyers from their very first viewing through to moving in and beyond. Our expertly trained sales advisors are on hand across East Dunbartonshire to ensure everything goes smoothly. With just a selection of homes available to move into for the summer, I would encourage anyone interested to get in touch with our expert sales team so they can start planning that big summer barbecue in their new home." Visit www.dwh.co.uk to find out more. This article was written by Julie Curry and read by Aaron.
Illicit cigarettes are seized. This article is unattributed. Officers from Kirkintilloch Police and Trading Standards have seized illicit cigarettes being sold from 2 separate premises in Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs. Chief Inspector Liam Harmon said, "The sale of illicit tobacco products undermines the legitimate operations of local businesses. These cigarettes are completely unregulated and pose a significant risk to public health. Profits from their sale are often used to fund wider criminality, including organised crime. This type of enforcement activity underlines our commitment to working with partners to remove these products, as well as disrupting organised crime associated with this trade. Anyone with information concerning premises involved in selling illicit products should call police on 101 or Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. That article was unattributed.
Glowing care report for Stepping Stones staff. A report by Julie Curry. Staff and families at Stepping Stones Family Learning Centre in Steps are celebrating after receiving a very positive report from the Care Inspectorate. Completed in March, the report rated the centre as very good across all areas of inspection. Inspectors recognised the centre's strong leadership, its nurturing environment, and the positive relationship with families. Staff were praised for their kind, nurturing and inclusive approach to supporting every child. Inspectors also highlighted the centre's strong and meaningful relationships with parents and carers. Feedback from families was overwhelmingly positive, with one parent sharing, "We are extremely happy with the service and can't fault the staff for their warmth and professionalism." Families said they felt fully involved in their children's learning and development. The inspection also found that children were happy, engaged, and enjoying their time at the centre. Staff were commended for valuing children's right to play and for providing a wide range of experiences, both indoors and outdoors. This allows children to lead their own play and learning in a supportive environment. Councillor Louise Rorty, Deputy Leader of North Lanarkshire Council, said, "This is a fantastic achievement for everyone at Stepping Stones Family Learning Centre. The report reflects the dedication, care and professionalism of staff and the strong partnerships they have built with families. I would like to congratulate the whole team on their success." Anne Shira, Head of Stepping Stones Family Learning Centre, said, "The team at Stepping Stones Family Learning Centre is dedicated to creating a warm, nurturing and stimulating environment for all our children and families. We are absolutely delighted to have received such a positive report which recognises the strong commitment, passion and enthusiasm shown by every member of our team each day. This positive report is in a large part down to our families and for their continued support and the strong partnerships we have built together. We will continue to build on this success and strive for ongoing improvement to ensure the very best outcomes for every child in our care." That report was written by Julie Curry.
As published on Wednesday the 20th of May from the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald, family announcements. Deaths. Bradley Thomas, a.k.a. John Classic, peacefully at Glasgow Royal Infirmary on Thursday, May the 7th, 2026, aged 95. Much love, Dad, Grandad and Great-Grandad. Funeral service at Clydebank Crematorium, North Dalnotter, on Thursday, May 28th at 11 a.m. Thereafter to Cadder Cemetery, Bishopbriggs, at 1 p.m. That was the only family announcement this week.
Nominations opened for Business Awards. This article was written by Julie Curry. The 2026 Lanarkshire Business Excellence Awards are now open for applications. Hosted by North and South Lanarkshire Councils, the awards celebrate and promote the success and achievements of local businesses. The Lanarkshire event is one of Scotland's longest-running business awards, this year sponsored by Albert Bartlett. They are open to all Lanarkshire businesses and social enterprises across all sectors and are free to enter. Companies can apply for up to 2 categories. Lanarkshire's Best Business, 0 to 25 employees, sponsored by Clyde Gateway. Lanarkshire's Best Business, 26 employees or more, sponsored by UKSE. Lanarkshire's Most Innovative Business, sponsored by Fusion Assets. Lanarkshire Community Impact Award, sponsorship available. Lanarkshire Green Business Award, sponsorship available. Lanarkshire Employer of the Year, sponsored by North Lanarkshire's Working and South Lanarkshire Works. Excellence in Customer Service, sponsorship available. Excellence in Marketing and Engagement Award, sponsorship available. Councillor Alex McVeigh, convener of North Lanarkshire Council's Enterprise and Fair Work Committee, said, "Lanarkshire has an innovative and diverse business community with companies of all sizes delivering high-quality services and products across many sectors. The awards are a great opportunity for them to show off their achievements, and I would urge businesses to apply and celebrate them. The closing date for all applications is Friday, June 26th. Details of all categories and how to apply are at www.lanarkshirebusinessawards.co.uk. There will be a free workshop offering tips and advice on submitting award applications. This will be held online on May 27th. Further details on how to register are also listed on the awards website. Winners of all categories will be announced at the awards dinner on Friday, October 30th at the Radstone Hotel near Lark Hall. Tickets go on sale in June. Any businesses who are interested in the remaining sponsorship opportunities should email the awards team at awards@lbea.info. This article was written by Julie Curry and read by Erin.
Banking services. The author of this article is unattributed. Mid Dunbartonshire MP Susan Murray has called on the government to work with the post office and banks to provide cash and in-person banking services in local communities. The area has seen a rapid decline in the availability of in-person banking, with branches closing across town centres, Santander and Kirkintilloch being the latest. Susan said, "The recent closures have had an adverse impact on those who rely on in-person banking. More needs to be done to reduce social isolation for older people who rely on town centres for personal interaction. These closures also have a huge effect on local businesses. Increased banking services in local post offices will go a long way to addressing these issues. I'd urge the government to encourage the post office and the banking industry to collaborate." The author of that article was unattributed. From the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald, date Wednesday, the 20th of May 2026, the letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@gnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKY@gnscotland.co.uk. Please write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Apathy reigns supreme. Sir, the recent Scottish Parliament election should give all of us cause for reflection. With voter turnout sitting at just over 52%, nearly half of eligible voters choose not to participate in one of the most important democratic exercises in our nation. The troubling story here is the growing sense of apathy and disengagement among the public, with the election campaign failing to ignite the public's enthusiasm. The SNP clearly won the election, but attracted only about 1 in 5 potential voters, and the Labour Party 1 in 10. When almost 1 in every 2 voters stays at home, it raises profound questions about trust in politics, political representation, and whether our institutions are genuinely connecting with the people they serve. Low turnout should not simply be accepted as the new normal. It should serve as a warning sign that democratic participation in Scotland cannot be taken for granted. The alarming lack of interest is a crisis that should concern all parties, and they should devote themselves to addressing this apathy by engaging the public. If this trend continues unchecked, the apathy party risks further eroding the legitimacy of our institutions and undermining public confidence in government, paving the way for the rise of more extreme parties. Politics must once again become something people feel part of, not something done to them from a distance. Yours, etc., Alex Orr, by email. Get cracking. Sir, spin is taking on the speed of centrifuge, in the SNP. Fresh from claiming a landslide election victory, John Swinney is ignoring Reform UK MSPs, yet talking to Sinn Féin and claiming it in a meeting with Keir Starmer is tantamount to a starting gun being fired for another independence referendum. When John Swinney finally gets down to earth, he will find that he needs another party to agree to pass his legislation, and ignoring another democratically elected party's MSPs is not a good look. Even more pressing is the cost of living crisis, whereby the SNP election promise to cap supermarket prices will test his abilities to the full. Then there is the brewing troubles over the Supreme Court's judgment on single-sex bases, the general malaise in the economy, and the NHS crisis over many disciplines. Mr. Swinney has 5 more years of this to come. The next landslide might sweep him away. Yours, etc., Gerald Edwards, by email. Haunted by the Haunt. Sir, was the Haunt system of proportional representation for Holyrood elections designed deliberately to return and haunt us 27 years later? Yours, etc., John Burkett. Address provided. Economic paradox. Sir, artificial intelligence will disturb the economic balance by creating goods and services while causing job and income losses that reduce the money available to buy them, thus causing deflation. So the answer is not a universal basic income, as has so often been considered, but a universal high income to maintain the stability of the money/goods balance as the outputs of goods increases due to AI. And that UHI money should come from government itself, and most importantly, that money, unlike that presently borrowed from the banks, could be interest-free. Here we look back to Abraham Lincoln and the unsupported paper currency, greenbacks, issued by the US government during the American Civil War to fund the Union's war effort, without relying on high-interest loans from private banks. Already our own sterling is in a similar unbacked flat currency, borrowed at interest from the banking system, so AI could be the reason for ending the crazy situation where the banks create a public money supply and presently charge us £2 billion a week as interest. That would be real intelligence. Yours, etc., Malcolm Parkin, by email. Furflies. Sir, so Larry the Cat is now on his 6 PM and perhaps looking forward to his 7th. With that in mind, I'm beginning to wonder if he's actually a jinx on the incumbents of 10 Downing Street. Perhaps he should have a wee break from Whitehall and come up to Edinburgh and ply his trade in and around Bute House. Yours, etc., John Barrett. And in today's letters page, there's a photograph. A statue of James Hogg, the Scottish poet, novelist and essayist, nicknamed the Ettrick Shepherd, overlooking St Mary's Loch near Selkirk on the Scottish borders. That was Let's Talk, read by Ian McKenna.
Readers' views on change to protocol, a report by Julie Curry. Police Scotland is currently seeking readers' views in relation to a proposed digitalisation of information that helps trace missing people living with dementia. As part of the Herbert Protocol, families and carers can obtain, print and complete a document from the Police Scotland website. This is handed to investigating officers whenever someone with dementia goes missing. The form records a range of useful information which allows officers to respond swiftly during the crucial first hour of someone going missing. At present, families and carers are responsible for owning, updating and providing this document to police. However, organisations working with families living with dementia believe it may be time to change that. A Police Scotland spokeswoman said, "Engagement and feedback following missing person inquiries has highlighted the additional stress and pressure associated with keeping this document safe and easily accessible. As such, the National Missing Persons Unit is beginning a period of consultation with professionals, carers, and the dementia community to explore the next steps of this process. We are now asking the public to engage with our consultation and provide feedback and views in relation to the potential digitalisation of the Herbert Protocol form. We will use these views to shape our approach. The Herbert Protocol in Scotland was developed in partnership with Alzheimer's Scotland and Scottish Government. Since its introduction in September 2021, it has been used many times to help police and others safely locate missing people who have dementia. Families of a person with the condition download the Herbert Protocol form and provide information that contains an individual's description and vital details. Also included in the form are places of importance to the individual, health issues, and places they have been found in the past. This enables the completed form to be immediately sent or handed to police in the event of someone going missing, helping officers to trace the person. The police spokeswoman added, "We know that in many areas of the UK, the Herbert Protocol form is now available in a digital format. This can be retained by family or by organisations who offer an online platform where information can be stored, which has resulted in more flexibility for families using the form. Visit https://consult.scotland.police.uk/strategy-and-insight-and-Herbert-protocol/ to have your say by the closing date for submissions on Sunday, August 2. The protocol is named after George Herbert, a war veteran who lived with dementia. After he went missing a few times, Norfolk Constabulary realised they needed a better way to look after vulnerable people. Mr. Herbert tragically died in 2011 while in search of his childhood home. However, his legacy lives on in bringing kindness and safety to others. To find out more about safeguarding loved ones, visit www.alzscot.org. That report was written by Julie Curry.
Partners vital, but no longer attractive. This article is unattributed. Growing risks and pressures are making GPs increasingly reluctant to take on partnership roles, despite overwhelming support for the model and the benefits it brings to patients. The Royal College of General Practitioners in Scotland supports a mixed model of general practice provision, but considers protecting partnerships as vital. In Scotland, with independent contractor agreements, a general practitioner or partnership of GPs can hold a contract with NHS Scotland to provide general medical services under the Scottish GMS contract. There are GP partners, salaried GPs and sessional GPs. RCGP Scotland's annual GP Voice survey found strong support for the partnership model, with 76% believing it promotes continuity of care and 74% stating it enables innovation to improve patient care. Despite this, only 32% of members said they were likely to consider becoming a GP partner in the future. Half of respondents reported that the traditional partnership model is no longer attractive to GPs. RCGP Scotland Chairman Dr Chris Provin said, "As a GP partner, I have seen firsthand the significant advantages of GP partnership for patients and the wider NHS. It is therefore deeply concerning so many GPs feel unable to consider partnership. Years of underfunding have left GP partners responsible for delivering complex care to a growing and ageing population without the resources required. This places pressure on partners who bear the responsibility. Protecting the partnership model must start here. That article was unattributed. Young people will steer online campaign. The author of this article is unattributed. The NSPCC is currently recruiting up to 20 young people aged 12 to 15 to join its campaigning group, The Voice of Online Youth. It is an opportunity for young people who have an interest in the digital world to be at the heart of the charity's online safety campaign and work to make the internet safer for other children. Having young people's voices and experiences heard and recognised is one of the driving forces behind the NSPCC achieving its goal that every child is safe online, can enjoy age-appropriate online experiences, and help to ensure tech companies are held accountable for making their platforms safe for children. Children's opinions and experiences of the online world should be invaluable to decision makers as they know firsthand the risks. Adam Dement, who runs The Voice of Online Youth, said, "Children and young people can teach adults so much about the online world. The more we listen to their experiences, champion their voices and include them in the national conversation, the safer we can make the online world for young people. Through my work with The Voice of Online Youth, I've watched young people grow in confidence and develop skills that will last a lifetime. That's why the NSPCC set it up, and we want you to encourage more children and young people to be part of it. Membership runs for 18 months and successful applicants will attend online sessions and workshops, with some in-person meetings. The NSPCC will cover travel, accommodation and expenses. Visit www.nspcc.org.uk for more information." The author of that article was unattributed. It was read by Ian.
Garden Fun for 2 Generations by Julie Curry. Residents, children, families and staff came together at Lilyburn Care Home in Milton of Campsie to celebrate Global Intergenerational Week. The celebration marked the continuation of a successful 2-year partnership between Lilyburn Care Home and Riverside Childcare. It has brought residents and nursery children together through themed well-being sessions to foster friendships and shared experiences. Andrea Campbell, Lilyburn Care Home Activities Coordinator, said, "Our purpose as a team is to support our residents to have enriched and happy lives. One of the ways we work to achieve this is by getting our residents involved with their community, attending local church groups, going for lunches, taking walks, attending local events, and inviting people into the home to provide fun activities that promote health and well-being." After attending specialist training on intergenerational activities with fellow activities coordinator Rona Oliver, Andrea and the team recognised the benefits these experiences could bring to older people and children. She said, "We have built up relationships with the local high schools, and for 2 years we've had a partnership with Riverside Childcare. The nursery provides a 6-week block over each term, inviting our residents to participate in themed activities each week, finishing with a tea together at the end. The recent celebration event welcomed nursery children and families into the care home garden, where everyone took part in a range of activities, including fitness, fun, music, gardening and storytelling. Each session traditionally begins with a hello song to help everyone learn each other's names. And the children brought along their song spoons, which sparked memories for many residents through familiar childhood nursery rhymes. Personal trainer Cami Calcy led a lively exercise session in the garden, encouraging residents, children and families to join in together. Children were delighted to receive Gold Star stickers for helping throughout the session. Additional activities included a music area, gardening activities and an interactive storytelling session led by Rona Oliver, complete with visual props to engage participants. The event also enabled residents who are unable to attend nursery visits to spend time with the children. Andrea added, "This has been a wonderful experience for children and residents. The relationships that have been established are just so special, and it's had such a positive impact on our residents. It enriches their lives and helps break the myth that going into a care home is the end of living life." Caroline Reddy, Riverside Childcare Manager, also praised the partnership. She said, "Watching our children and the residents connect, share experiences, learn from each other, and most importantly, simply enjoy each other's company has been incredibly special. These moments create meaningful relationships and lasting memories for everyone involved. We feel so proud that we've been able to nurture this for 2 years." That article was written by Julie Curry.
Good day to you. It's Philip here from Q and Review, reading the church news from the Kirkintilloch Herald, or the Herald as it's now called. And we go first of all to Milton-a-Campsie church news. We are celebrating on Sunday at our morning service, and again ecumenically at 2:30 in Battlefield Park. Christian Unity services will be held on Wednesday, May the 27th at 1 p.m. in St Mackin's, Thursday, May the 28th at 1 p.m. in Milton-a-Campsie Parish Church, and Friday, May the 29th at 1 p.m. in Campsie Church. Christian Aid Week is now over. Thanks to all who collected and all who gave. Get your tickets for our Christian Aid concert by the Anderson Singers on Thursday, May the 21st. That's this Thursday. This week's Cafe Connect is on Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Time to Pray is on Wednesday at 7 p.m, followed by a Teams meeting at 7:45 p.m. We're excited about the long weekend Village Festival and are delighted to be involved in this. 2 days of community fun and friendship, June the 20th and 21st in Milton-of-Campsie. We hope to have a Churches Together gazebo as well as a sports labyrinth. And now to Torrance Parish Church. The morning service in person is at 10:30, conducted by the minister. During the service, the youngsters meet together in the Cress and Junior Church, etc. If you want to check out more, check out their website, torranceparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday, 9 till 12 noon, for teas, coffees and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? To find out about our regular weekly activities, check the website for what's on at all the W's, tpc.org.uk. And now to St Mary's Parish Church in Kirkintilloch. The service on Sunday, May the 24th, will begin at 11 a.m. as usual and will be taken by the minister, Ruth Morrison. And it's an all-age appropriate activities will be there as well for the kids, etc. On Wednesday, May the 20th, Wednesday welcome will continue when tea, coffee and home baking and a warm welcome will be available from 10 till 11:30 a.m. This will be followed by a short service beginning at 11:30 a.m. The annual strawberry lunch will take place after the service on Sunday, June the 7th, when 2-course lunch featuring strawberries in both courses will be available. Tickets for this event will be on sale after the service from Sunday, May the 17th. They will cost £1 plus a donation on the day. On Wednesday, June the 3rd, one of our monthly open doors will be held. The church will be open from 10:30 till 3:30 p.m. Tea, coffee, biscuits, as usual, will all be served. And there will be an organ recital by our very talented organist, Mr. David Burns, beginning at 12:30 p.m. Tea and coffee will be available during this time, and a very warm welcome awaits you to bring your lunch and eat during the recital. And now St David's Memorial Park Church. Let me get my brain in gear here. Yeah, this Sunday, May the 24th, the service will be very informal church cafe style service held in the large hall and will be led by Karen Wallace. There will be tea, coffee and it will be provided along with breakfast pastries. Sounds good. On Tuesday, May the 26th, there will be the usual short all-seated lunchtime service held in the small hall at 12 noon, followed by tea and coffee etc. The Friendship Club meets every Tuesday during May, June, July and August. It's 1:30 till 3:30 p.m. Why not come along and bring your knitting, crochet or other crafting projects and enjoy an afternoon tea and a friendly chat in the garden room. And now St James Church, no it's not in Kirkintilloch, it's in Bishopbriggs. There's a communion service at 11 a.m. on Thursday, May the 21st in the chapel, and on Sunday, May the 24th in the chapel at 9 a.m. and at 10:30 a.m. in the church with hymns. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of the services. Do stay on for tea, coffee and fellowship afterwards. There will also be other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to their social media: Facebook, St James LS, Bishopbriggs, and their website is all the W's, stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. And now we go to Springfield Church, that's in Bishopbriggs. The following are the intimations for the week. May the 18th, that's this week, yes. On Sunday, May the 24th, morning worship will be conducted by the minister Ian Taylor in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. and Sunday school will meet in room 2. An offering will be taken as usual during the service. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. Yes, morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel, which I've just said twice. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, all the W's, springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and organisations and church activities can be found. Tea and coffee will be served as usual in the church in the Cameron Hall. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, May the 20th from 10 to 11 a.m. There will be a short midweek service on Wednesday, May the 20th at 11:10 a.m, followed by tea, coffee in the Hall of Fellowship. Now to the Kirkintilloch Church of God at Regent Hall, Regent Street. On Sunday there will be a communion service at 10:30 a.m, followed by a short Bible message from Carol Smith. On Thursday the Bible discussion group continues our journey through the Bible. The topic this week is the rapture and what happens afterwards. A warm invitation is extended to you and everyone who's able to join us. For up-to-date and further information, check out our services at the website, all the W's, regenthall.org. Now to Home Church in Kirkintilloch, Lammermuir Road, and Home Church has 6 other locations in Kirkintilloch, Skelmorley, Lochaber, Livingston, etc. New locations in Royston, Maryhill and Methil are coming soon. Home Hub in Kirkintilloch Main Street is open for tea and coffee 10 till 2 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. God is close to the broken-hearted, the text says. Worship services are at 9:30 a.m, 11:30 a.m and 7:30 p.m. Upper room for worship and prayer. Morning worship services are followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you and at all services. Also Children's Church is at the same times as the services. On Tuesday 9:30 a.m. Heartbeat service, worship and teaching. Wednesday 7:30 p.m. home groups, various locations. Check out the church for further information about home groups. Thursday 7 a.m. prayer meeting at the Hub. 7 p.m. home young adults united is at Strathclyde University. 8 p.m. is football. Friday youth fellowship is at 7:30 p.m. prayer meeting at 7:30 p.m. as well. Saturday, May the 30th, ladies' prayer breakfast at 9:30 a.m. All are welcome. Home radio is available every day. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for more information. And if you want to hear my dulcet tones and what's happening across the world and what God is doing, then check out Home Radio Scotland, Monday nights 8 till 9 p.m. and you'll hear some amazing news of what God is doing. Lenzie Old Parish Church will be celebrating Pentecost during the Sunday worship on May the 24th, which will be led by the Reverend Dr. Joan Ross. Thursday afternoon club is on Thursday, May the 21st, 2 to 4 p.m. Enjoy tea, coffee, home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble and Rubik's Cube, etc. Bring your knitting as well. Come and sing. The Dementia Friendly Singing Group meets in the Church Hall Tuesdays, May the 26th at 1:15 to 2:45 p.m. A warm welcome awaits all. And of course, as usual, cuppa and a bite. Please feel free to come and sing. The Quilt and Craft Group meet every Wednesday, 10 till 12 noon in the session room. Lions and Union Parish Church, the service led by David Nicholson, on May the 24th is at 11 a.m. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube. The meeting place is open for tea and coffee and home baking every Wednesday, and it's the same again on Friday as well for the coffee pot. A warm, friendly atmosphere for all ages. A summer strawberry social with homemade two-course summer food, followed by a concert by the acclaimed The New Day Singers on Friday, May the 29th, 6:30 p.m. in the New Hall. Donation tickets, £15 available from the Coffee Pot team. Joint Church Holiday Club for children in primary 1 to 7. To book a free place on all or some of the days, contact Kirky LenzyYouth@gmail.com. Bible storytelling, arts and crafts, fun and games, message games, music, free fruit and snacks. August, Wednesday the 12th, Thursday the 13th and Friday the 14th, 10 a.m. to noon at Lenzy Union New Hall, Moncrief Avenue. Lenzy Art for Seniors is on Monday, May the 26th in the New Hall. An opportunity to produce a simple piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist, that is, Bev McCluskey. No previous experience needed, just come and relax. Contact Margaret on 0779216886 to book a place. Donations of £5 to cover resources. So there you have it. That's all the services for Eastern Bartonshire area that are in the Kirky Herald, or I keep saying the Kirky Herald, but it's not called the Kirky Herald anymore. It's just called the Herald, and it's a paper that's been going since 1883. But I'm not there. I was not there. Anyway, blessings to you. Hopefully you can manage out to one of the church services or one of the meetings in this coming week. Bless you now. My name again is Philip. God bless you. Take care. Speak to you next week.
Wednesday the 20th of May 2026. District News. Handsome Hugo is waiting to meet his forever family. Hugo is a cheerful, clever dog. Hugo is a bouncy and brilliant 4-year-old collie with a zest for life and a heart full of love. He is a playful pooch who is always ready for his next adventure. Not only is Hugo full of charm and character, but he's also absolutely stunning. With his sleek coat and dazzling blue eyes that sparkle with curiosity, he turns heads wherever he goes. This handsome lad definitely knows how to work his natural good looks, and he's got the personality to match. Hugo would like a calm home environment with a regular routine. His idea of heaven would be a home with land where he can run around. Contact Dogs Trust West Calder for more information. Holyrood View, now working on re-election promises, by Ross Greer MSP. 2 weeks ago, I had the privilege of succeeding at one of life's most unusual job interviews. Having already served as your Green MSP for the last 10 years, I was re-elected to serve another term in the Scottish Parliament. This was also my first election as a party co-leader, which gave me the added privilege of travelling across Scotland, meeting people from Dumfries to Shetland. Whether it was here in Eastern Bartonshire, in island communities, or in the centres of Glasgow and Edinburgh, the biggest issue facing everyone was the same: the cost of living. It was really lovely to meet so many people who were saving money and getting support as a result of changes already made by Scottish Green MSPs. Free bus travel for under 22s has made it possible and affordable for so many young people to work, study and socialise. Locally, it has boosted passenger numbers on services like the West Coast Motors 15 service. A bus service previously constantly on the verge of being cancelled is now running an expanded timetable, benefiting everyone. Scrapping peak rail fares has saved local commuters a fortune, making it easier to keep the car at home as petrol and diesel prices surge. And more children than ever are getting a free school meal, easing the pressure on their families. The recognition of this work by Green MSPs was clear at the ballot box. Our vote almost doubled. Delightfully, I've now been joined in Parliament by a second Scottish Green MSP for the West of Scotland, Cara McKee. Between us, we'll be able to achieve so much more for our communities. Nationally, we have grown from 8 to 15 green MSPs, including our first constituent MSPs in Edinburgh and Glasgow. We're already hard at work building on those previous achievements and making sure all those green votes translate into the kind of change people need. For example, we're now aiming to finally make bus travel free for everyone. Doing so would help save people money, help to tackle the climate crisis, and boost our local economies. And locally, I'm determined to make progress on our campaign to bring back the second track in the Milngavie rail line and build the long-mooted Allender station. As always though, my main priority will be giving direct support and assistance to constituents who need that. If you need that support, please do get in touch at ross.greer.msp@parliament.scot. That's ross.greer.msp @parliament.scot, or you can phone on 0141 956 2778. And thank you for placing your trust in me once again. Groups. Seniors Forum. Kirkintilloch and District Seniors Forum. Our long-established forum are looking for new members to join our monthly meetings. The objective of the forum is to assist in improving quality of everyday life for the elderly community, together with social events, guest speakers from NHS, council, local history and many more. We welcome the over 55s to come along, have a chat, get involved and meet new people, forming new friendships. We meet in the Park Centre, 45 Kerr Street, Kirkintilloch, G66 1LF, on the last Thursday of every month from 10:30am to 12 noon. Tea, coffee and biscuits served. Friends of Forth and Clyde. Friends of Forth and Clyde meet every Friday from 12 noon until 2pm at the Boat Users Block, South Bank Marina, Kirkintilloch. Everyone is welcome to come along and get a free cuppa and some friendly chat. No membership required. Sport. Rob Roy need to build on going up. Report by Brian Yule. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy boss John Gibson says the main objective has been completed by winning promotion to the West of Scotland Premier Division. A 1-1 draw at Cumbernauld United earlier this month was enough to secure a return to the top flight after 2 seasons in the First Division. However, they only did so by taking advantage of the extra places opening up due to the reconstruction of the Lowland League. While pleased to go up, Gibson was a little underwhelmed not to have met all the targets he set for the campaign. He told the club's media team, "The main objective was to make sure that we're in the Premier Division next season. That's us done it, but you always want a wee bit more. We wanted to finish the season with 5 wins, as you don't want to just scrape promotion. However, it's not to be. If we got to the 50-point mark and finished in the top 3, then we'd have said it was not a bad season. We didn't get there, but we have been promoted and now we've got to look forward to next year and build on what we've got." Unfortunately, after the joy of promotion, Gibson immediately felt embarrassed by his side's performance in a 2-0 defeat at St Roch's last midweek. He said, "That's the first time they've embarrassed me actually. People have come here to watch them and some of them couldn't be bothered running. Too many of them were not running hard enough. Their minds were elsewhere because we get promoted and they've really let me down. It doesn't matter if it's the end of the season. St Roch's are running quick and running harder, and that's not acceptable." However, Rob Roy bounced back as they brought their campaign to a close with a 1-0 win away to Darvel on Saturday to finish 6th in the table. There were plenty of goals as Petershill won 6-5 as they hosted Neilston in the final day of the season, with 11th place in the First Division already assured. That article was written by Brian Yule.
Allied helps young carers take a well-earned break. The owners of Glasgow Tigers are helping to support a project which gives young carers a rare break from their responsibilities. Allied Vehicles Charitable Trust has given a £500 donation to the Honeypot Children's Charity, which offers respite breaks at its Honeypot House in Ayrshire. Honeypot House opened in the countryside near Newcomnock in 2023 and has since welcomed over 700 young carers from across Scotland. Glasgow is the home to the highest number of young carers in Scotland, with children as young as 5 years old providing practical and emotional support to family members. The break is part of Honeypot's wider work to expand its support for families across Glasgow. And for respite and emotional support continues to grow as the charity hopes to deliver 10 dedicated residential breaks for young carers from across the city in 2026. Children take part in outdoor activities, shared meals and group experiences to help them relax and connect with others who understand their situation. Jerry Fakena, founder and owner of Allied Vehicles Group, said, "So many young carers in Glasgow take on responsibilities well beyond their years. I am delighted that Allied Vehicles Charitable Trust can support the Honeypot Children's Charity in giving local children time away from those pressures. This allows them to enjoy themselves and just be kids for a while before returning home feeling more confident and supported."
Football. Looking to end season on a high. Report by Brian Yule. Glasgow City striker Abigail Harrison wants to end the season on a high this Sunday after her side missed out on Champions League football. City were back in Edinburgh for the second week in a row. A 3-2 defeat at Hibernian last week having crushed their title dreams. They dominated for large spells in a 0-0 draw away to the SWPL1 leaders, Hearts, which denied the capital side a title party. For now. Harrison had the first chance of the match as she tested Rachel Johnson in the Hearts goal. Emily Wheeling and Hayley Lauder also went close for the visitors in the first half, but neither could find the target. At the other end, Lee Gibson remained largely a spectator on a day where Hearts would only manage one shot on target. That came in the second period as Gibson kept her concentration to deny an effort from Ailey Shore. It was City who looked more likely to get the winner, but Lisa Forrest put a diving header wide and Whelan was kept out by Johnson. City head coach Leanne Ross told the club's media team, "We travelled to Hearts with qualification for Europe being our main aim. It was all about getting the 3 points, and I think you could see from our performance that was the aim. We tried to play and dominate large spells of the game. We've just been missing that cutting edge at the top of the pitch again to make the difference." Harrison added, "I think it was tough. It was a big output for everyone. Obviously we were disappointed coming into the game, knowing we couldn't win the league. However, I think that motivates you to make sure they don't do it, and obviously we did that." City will end the season at home to Rangers this Sunday, with the visitors sitting 2 points behind Hearts in the race for the title after a 4-0 win over Celtic. Harrison said, "We need to take accountability, as we are not where we wanted to be for the last game of the season. The fans show out in their numbers and we appreciate them all over Europe that were coming into the midweek games. It would be great to get as many down to Petershill Park as possible on Sunday and hopefully go out in a high." That report was written by Brian Yule and read by Ian McKenna.
Locomotives has launched fundraiser in bid to save club. This article is unattributed. Caledonian Locomotives has launched a fundraising campaign in a bid to save the Springburn Club. Last month, club chairman Dominic McAnally released a statement which revealed, due to their financial situation, there was no guarantee they will be playing in the WOS League next season. It did appear sponsorship had been found for next season, but these offers have now been withdrawn, leaving Locos in a perilous situation. The club wrote on social media, "After sponsorship was secured for next season, the two individuals involved decided over the last few weeks to retract the offer. Whilst there may be positive news in the next week or two, we all know that things can change very quickly in football, and especially at this club. We can't just sit back and wait for help, and although there's been plenty of emails sent out in the last few weeks, it's important that we try every avenue to raise funds. Locos are aiming to raise £12,000 at www.crowdfunder.co.uk. McNally wrote, "The main reason for our appeal is to support the club with funds towards the ever-increasing costs for both training lets and match day hire. This, along with any new sponsorship brought into the club, would hopefully help and continue our new football pathway. We have agreed a partnership with North Glasgow Youth Club Football First to build the relationship from the first team all the way down to the academy. However, these ambitious plans will ultimately fail before a ball is kicked in earnest if the club do not have the funds to cover these lets for next season and beyond." Locos concluded this season with a short trip to Ashfield as the hosts ran out 4-2 winners to finish 13th in the table, with their guests one place behind. Finart secured the final promotion spot in the 3rd Division with a 2-2 draw at home to Port Glasgow Juniors. However, Glasgow Pershire finished bottom on the table as they lost 1-0 at home to Yoker Athletic. It was Derby Day to end the campaign in the 4th Division, with West Park United winning 5-0 away to Rossvale. This saw promoted United come 4th in the table, while their hosts ended up 3rd bottom. This article was unattributed and read by Aaron.
That's the end of the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast, as published on the 20th of May. We hope you enjoyed it. There will be another one next week.